It's Tuesday, the 27th of January. My name's Dylan and I'm here to break down all of the latest and breaking Premier League transfer news for the January transfer window. We've got bids from Premier League clubs. We've got the latest on Cole Palmer and co. There is so much to come. Here's in 8 to 10 minutes, hopefully. Here's going to be the latest breakdown for you guys about what's happening in transfers in the Premier League. And as I mentioned, we're going to start with why are Manchester United fans all talking about Cole Palmer this morning? There is a lot of talk about Cole Palmer at the moment. With his kind of situation at Chelsea, situation at United. United want another attacker this summer. And what's come out, and it's from The Sun, but more specifically, it's from Samuel Luckhurst. Samuel Luckhurst, however may you think about him, if you're a United fan, you know who he is. He's good. He's a good journalist, and he knows his stuff at Manchester United. And last night, he came out with the news that, according to his sources and everything, Cole Palmer would be open to a sensational transfer to Manchester United in the summer. We're not talking January. We're not talking last 5-6 days of the window, which we're in currently. We're talking about possibly the summer. So what Luckhurst has said is that he revealed previously that Palmer is unsettled with life in London and life at Chelsea. 2.5 years on from his move, from £40 million move from Manchester City to Chelsea. Obviously, he lit the Premier League up in his first season. But since then, hamstring injuries, time on and off the pitch, changes in managers, etc., has led to him feeling unsettled. Apparently, the Palmer, obviously a Mancunian himself, would welcome any interest that could come from Manchester United, the club that he supported as a boy. It's no secret. He had got the photos of him as he's 5-6 years old in United kits. When he scored against United, he scored a hat-trick at Stamford Bridge a few seasons ago. He was asked about it. He was like, how does it feel to score a hat-trick against the club that you supported as a kid? And he openly admitted, he was like, yeah, I supported United as when I was younger. It's how I feel. It's, scoring a hat-trick against them is amazing and that. But main talking point, he's a United fan. And so apparently, according to the report, Palmer misses his hometown of Wythenshawe, which is where Marcus Rashford's also from. And he frequently returns to see friends and family, going back from London to Manchester all the time. Sources say that Palmer would not entertain a move to Man City, where Pep Guardiola is still in charge. Obviously, Pep Guardiola was the one that sold him because he had other talents in front of him at the time. Possibly now they could have done with someone like him. Maybe wouldn't have needed to spend £62.5 million on Antoine Semenyo, but they did. Palmer left for Chelsea. So apparently it's true. The 23-year-old has only started 11 games this season amid a problematic groin injury, and Palmer was also not in the squad for Chelsea's 3-1 win over Crystal Palace just a few days ago. But the big problem for United here is that he is on a contract until 2033, which is, that's 6.5 years left on his deal. So if United were to entertain some sort of interest, it would, and they were to, have a conversation with Palmer, see what the situation of the crack would be, Chelsea could lock the transfer down. They could probably lock it away because of the contract. The length of the contract that he is on is like nothing United would have probably ever had to deal with before. A 6.5 year deal, signing a player, and that was his signing a contract previously. That could be a proper hard thing for United to deal with. But obviously, the thing is with United is also there's so much ex-Man City in the moment. CEO Omar Barada used to work at City. Director of football Jason Wilcox also used to work at City. Wilcox was the academy director at Man City when Cole Palmer was in the youth team. So that would be someone who is very, very familiar to Cole Palmer, but is also someone that Cole Palmer will be very, very familiar with. So not just someone that understands and knows Cole Palmer as a footballer, but it's someone who Cole Palmer will know from his past at Man City, which could be a bit of an advantage. But so a lot of ex-Man City going on at United, which is criticised in itself. There are criticisms for that and also valid criticisms. But what it looks like is Cole Palmer, this could be coming from his side. I don't know what side this is coming from, but it seems as if Cole Palmer would be willing to talk to United about the possibility of a transfer. But do let me know in the comments, is it the right move for him? Is it the right move for United themselves? Because United don't know who's going to be their manager in the coming next season. So it probably would be a conversation that can't even be had until the new manager comes in. Because if Cole Palmer was to join, that would throw into doubt potentially the futures of Bruno Fernandes. Or it may be contingent on Bruno Fernandes saying if he's going to stay or if he's going to leave before United even entertain the chance of talking to Palmer. So on United, it's been reported by the Mirror that Bruno Fernandes is set to wait until the end of the season before making a decision on his future. The 31-year-old's current deal runs until 2027, and there is an option for a further season. But as we know, as we've covered many times here on DR Sports, £56 million release clause in his contract for non-English clubs. There is a time limit on that contract. The contract, I don't know what the time limit is. It's not been said explicitly when that expires, when that release clause expires. But chances are Bruno Fernandes will talk to United and he'll say, he'll just, say, I want to stay, I want to go, or what are your plans? Is it worth me staying around for another season? Is Carrick staying? Is Carrick going? Are you bringing in an experienced manager? Are you going to bring in maybe a less experienced manager and grow? Because in that case, maybe Bruno Fernandes might go, I can't win a league title or something next year, so I might go somewhere else. And then once that's sorted, then he goes to the World Cup and the release clause might be activated then or just before the World Cup and everything will be dealt with. And maybe then, maybe only then, will United properly enter into negotiations to talk with Cole Palmer about the possibility of going to Manchester, but also the possibility talk with Chelsea about a transfer fee. I can't even begin to guess how much Chelsea might demand for Cole Palmer. As I said, 6.5-year deal will be 6 years in the summer. 23, 24 years of age, incredibly talented footballer, but injuries left, right, and centre. Chelsea might go, you know what, we'll take the money and go find someone new. Esteval's obviously fantastic young player himself. But it's definitely one to keep an eye on. And this will be something, I do believe, this will be something that's going to keep cropping up as the weeks go on, especially if United get better. Obviously, they're above Chelsea at the moment. If United get Champions League football, and let's say Chelsea don't get Champions League football next season, that's when the conversation, I think, could get very, very interesting. But elsewhere, David Ornstein from The Athletic has said that Nottingham Forest have bid £35 million for Jean-Philippe Mateta this month. Crystal Palace are seeking a £40 million package, which is the exact same fee they demanded in the summer and in last January. But obviously now Mateta has said he wants to leave in January through a lack of ambition. I don't know if therefore Nottingham Forest are the squad to then go to, considering Nottingham Forest are below Crystal Palace in the day. Even though Palace aren't having a great time, neither are Nottingham Forest. So I don't know if Mateta saying that he wants to leave because of a lack of ambition and then heading over to Nottingham Forest at 28 years old is the best career move. It seems like his main focus is on Juventus being interested in him. But we'll see how this goes. Obviously, the bid will be rejected, has been rejected by Crystal Palace. They want more money. And it might be just a case of Crystal Palace showing Juventus, we're not accepting anything less than 40 million. No loans with options to buy. No loans with obligations to buy. Straight fee in January might be the only thing. Because also, just on other news, is Juventus are also interested in Federico Chiesa, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, the Italian outlet. So we've covered the Chiesa stuff here before on DR Sports, and it seemed like Liverpool, they're not willing to let go of Robertson, so I doubt they'd be willing to let go of Chiesa as well. They need attacking reinforcements. Isak's got a long-term injury. Mo Salah's still not look like he's completely hit the ground running after coming back from AFCON. So chances are they won't look to sell Chiesa in January or loan him in January. And then Gazzetta dello Sport also says Joshua Zirkzee is on Juventus' radar, but that'll be a no-go for Manchester United. Michael Carrick reportedly a few days ago or last week sat down with the players who were previously thinking of leaving. That's Ugarte, that's Kobbie Mainoo, that's Joshua Zirkzee, and potentially Harry Maguire as well, been linked to clubs in Italy. And he sat them all down and went, you're all staying until the end of the season. End of story. And with Ruben Amorim gone, there's a new lease of life for everybody, right? Kobbie Mainoo obviously has started back-to-back games in the Premier League for the first time since last season. Like, it was his first 2 games in the Premier League. He'd not started until Ruben Amorim got sacked the entire of the season. It was game week 2021 or whatever it was that he actually first started a game. So Joshua Zirkzee of interest to Juventus, but that's a no-go. Randall Kolo Muani, on a season-long loan at Spurs, is from PSG, is another option Juventus have looked about. Look, Juventus seem to be shopping in the Premier League for players that aren't getting minutes or want to leave clubs for their striker situation. Juventus, it feels like every season a Premier League club is linked to Juventus, and there's always a Juventus have no money, loan with option to buy, loan with obligation to buy, straight loan, 6-month loan. Look, I feel like Juventus aren't necessarily going to get the guy that they want from the Premier League, no matter who it is, this month, because there's 5-6 days left of the window. We will be covering, by the way, deadline day on DR Sports on Live at 5. So do stay tuned for that. Beginning of February 2nd, I believe, is deadline day. So do keep tuned for that. The final piece of news is Everton forward Beto is another option that Juventus are considering as they look to bring in a striker. As I said, Juventus looking for any Premier League striker who may not be getting minutes, anyone with physical presence experience. But, Juventus are always sniffing around all clubs for any deals. But apart from that, that is all of the news. Here on DR Sports for Tuesday, 27th of January, the big one being Cole Palmer's reportedly interest in talking to United, would welcome an approach from United to talk about a possible move to Old Trafford in the summer. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Should Cole Palmer go? Should he stay? What should Chelsea do? Should they cash in? Should they keep him? Should they try and give him another longer term deal? And also what transfer fee it could be. How much is Cole Palmer worth? Situationally, if he was to push for the move, does that devalue him? Like obviously, Garnacho pushed for the move to Chelsea, and that lowered his valuation from United side from 60 to 40. Cole Palmer, is it a £100 million transfer? Is it 80? Is it 70? Is it 90? Let me know in the comments. But apart from that, hope you guys enjoyed this latest update for the January transfer window on DR Sports. I'll see you soon. Peace.